Let's be real. Studying for your CDL can feel like you're trying to memorize a dictionary, right? But what if I told you that two of the biggest threats you'll face, both on the exam and out on the actual road, really just boil down to a couple of key ideas? Let's break them down.
So what are they? Well, it boils down to something pretty simple, really. The biggest dangers you're going to face are either coming from outside your truck or from inside your own head. And learning how to manage both of those, that's what separates a regular driver from a true professional.
All right, let's tackle the first one, that external threat. You know who I'm talking about, the aggressive driver. We've all dealt with them. But when you're behind the wheel of an 80,000-pound rig, how you respond isn't just about being polite. It's a critical, non-negotiable part of your job. Okay, you are going to want to pay super close attention to the words on this slide. Why? Because this definition is pulled straight from the CDL manual. Selfish, bold, or pushy. See, your exam isn't just going to ask you about crazy road rage incidents. It's about spotting any behavior that puts other people's safety at risk. So what do? How do you handle it like a pro? Well, the manual lays out a really simple 3-step plan. And listen, this has nothing to do with pride. It's all about safety. Step 1, just get out of their way. Step 2, completely disengage. No gestures, no eye contact, nothing. And step 3, if it's serious, report them. That's it. That's the answer they're looking for on the test. And this right here, this is the absolute #1 rule. You got to check your ego at the door. If some other driver is desperate to get in front of you, just let them. It's that simple. Trying to challenge them? That's a losing game for everybody involved, and it's the exact opposite of what a professional driver does. Okay, so we've talked about the danger on the outside, but what about the threat that comes from within? Let's move on to threat number 2, driver fatigue. And you really need to take this seriously because this one, it's a silent killer. Just look at that number for a second. 100,000. That's how many police-reported crashes happen every single year just because someone was driving while drowsy. That is a massive safety crisis. And as a professional driver, you're the first line of defense against it. And when we zero in specifically on heavy trucks, the stats get even more real. Fatigue is a factor in at least 15% of all heavy truck crashes. Think about that. Every single one of those was a tragedy that could have been prevented. Okay, I want you to burn this slide into your brain. Seriously, this might be the most important takeaway in this whole explainer. Look at the effects of fatigue, and now look at the effects of alcohol and drugs. They are identical. The CDL manual could not be clearer on this. Driving while fatigued is the same as driving impaired. Your brain doesn't know the difference, and you better believe the law won't either when something goes wrong. And hey, if you're sitting there thinking, that's not me, I can handle it, well, the numbers say otherwise. A full 60% of drivers admit they've driven while drowsy. And get this, a shocking 36%, more than 1 in 3, have actually fallen asleep at the wheel. So yeah, this isn't somebody else's problem. This is everyone's problem. So how do you spot the danger in yourself before it's too late? You've got to know these warning signs from the manual. Think of them as your personal alarm system. If you're having trouble focusing, if you can't stop yawning, if you notice you're drifting out of your lane, that's not a signal to just tough it out. No way. That's a clear signal that you need to pull over right now. So since we know fatigue is such a huge deal, let's dive into one of the most challenging scenarios for any driver, the night drive. Your body's naturally winding down, you're less alert. So there are some very specific rules you absolutely have to know to stay safe. All right. Get ready to take some mental notes because these are hard numbers you have to memorize for your exam. Low beams, they'll give you about 250 feet of visibility. High beams, you're looking at 350 to 500 feet. And here's the golden rule you cannot forget. You dim your lights within 500 feet of any other vehicle. Doesn't matter if they're coming at you or if you're coming up behind them. 500 feet. Got it? You know, safety at night doesn't just start when you turn the key. It starts with preparation. Simple stuff, right? But cleaning your windshield, inside and out, cleaning your mirrors, cleaning your headlights. A clean set of lights can literally double your visibility. And of course, always wear your glasses or contacts if you need them. And remember this simple rule for staying alert. Take a break every 2 hours or 100 miles. And if you remember nothing else about fatigue, remember this quote. It's the final word on the subject, straight from the manual. It's not coffee. It's not loud music. It's not an open window. The only safe cure for drowsiness is to get off the road and get some sleep. Period. Pulling over isn't a failure. It's the action of a professional who understands the risk.
All right, let's bring this all home. We've looked at the aggressive driver outside your truck, and we've talked about fatigue inside your head. Two totally different threats, but they're both managed by the exact same thing: your professionalism.
Here's the bottom line. A true professional doesn't just know how to drive the truck. They know how to manage the entire environment, the road outside, and their own condition inside. That's not just about passing a test. That is the definition of a professional.
So we'll leave you with this last thought to chew on. The manual gives you the rules, and you absolutely need to know them. But out there on the road, just knowing the rules isn't enough. You need judgment. We've given you the information. It's up to you to build the wisdom.